Godzilla vs. Kong is awesome. Now, this is my review of Godzilla vs. Kong. And honestly, as soon as they announced that they were making a Godzilla vs. Kong movie, I was really excited. I think everyone was excited because this was everyone's two favorite monsters, Godzilla and Kong, the two monsters that are popular around the world. And they were actually going to share a screen together, and they were actually going to be fighting each other. And that was really exciting to think about. Now, logically, it doesn't make much sense. I mean, Godzilla would instantly destroy Kong because of the atomic breath. He can just blast a hole through Kong, and Kong will be dead. I mean, Kong's a giant monkey, so there's no way he could survive that. But still, we want to see it happen, and it happened. Now, in the movie Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong is apparently being transported out of Skull Island because he's gotten too big for the place. And they're trying to move him. And the problem is, Godzilla, as soon as they take Kong out of the island, Godzilla will realize that Kong's out there and he'll go after him. Now, they managed to hide Kong for a long time because of a barrier they put on the island. But now that's gone, and as soon as they're transporting Kong by sea, Godzilla attacks, and they have their first confrontation. And it went as well as you'd expect. I mean, Godzilla pretty much had the upper hand the entire fight. But after that, Godzilla leaves, and Kong somehow managed to survive. And so then they manage to airlift Kong and take him to Hollow Earth. Now, I have no idea how they managed to airlift him. They used a bunch of helicopter type of things, but Kong is super heavy and whatever. It's a monster movie, I guess it doesn't have to make sense. So they take him to a place where there's a tunnel to the Hollow Earth, and they go to the Hollow Earth, and they see a bunch of other titans, and an ecosystem for titans under the earth that hasn't been touched by humans. So there, Kong finds a cave where there are carvings of a bunch of other Kongs, and they found a skeleton of what looks like another Godzilla, and there's a hammer on top of it, and he takes the hammer. And at the same time, Godzilla's out there searching for something, not for Kong, but for something else, because in the background, the humans are making a mecha Godzilla using the brain of King Ghidorah, the skull of King Ghidorah. And they're making Mecha Godzilla. So Godzilla is searching for it. And during Godzilla's search, the radiation or the energy from the Hollow Earth somehow triggers Godzilla, and Godzilla decides to blow a hole through the Earth, right down to the Hollow Earth. That's how powerful Godzilla's atomic breath is. That's why I said there's no way Kong has any chance of beating him. So Kong sees the hole and climbs up, and then there's round two. Kong and Godzilla fight again. The city's getting wrecked, obviously. And Godzilla's got the upper hand, but Kong uses the axe, and the axe can absorb Godzilla's atomic breath. And using that, Kong gets a one good blow into Godzilla's head, and he goes down, shockingly. So I guess technically round two did go to Kong, even though it wasn't really a big victory. But right after that, Godzilla gets back up again, and this time Godzilla completely trashes Kong and pummels him into submission, and he's on the ground, and he's barely alive. And seeing that he's not a threat anymore, Godzilla goes back to looking for the Mecha Godzilla. So Kong's basically down and out, and then Mecha Godzilla shows up, and it goes rogue and starts attacking Godzilla, and Godzilla and Mecha Godzilla fight it out. And Mecha Godzilla is surprisingly really resilient. It has a lot of weapons and technology, and it gets the upper hand on Godzilla. You could say it's probably also because the fact that Godzilla already had a serious fight with Kong and he's tired, but Mechagodzilla does have the upper hand. It has its own atomic breath, which is insane. I don't know how they managed to get the energy for an atomic breath. They didn't explain, but whatever. So Godzilla has its own atomic breath. Mechagodzilla has on atomic breath, and they fight it out, and Godzilla gets beaten up. And as Mechagodzilla is about to kill Godzilla, the humans somehow use a machine to revive Kong, and Kong springs back into action. After the little girl he's friends with tells her that Godzilla is not the enemy, so he decides to help Godzilla, and both of them team up together and fight Mechagodzilla, which is awesome. And the city gets completely destroyed, but that's not the main point. They both fight They both fight Mechagodzilla, and Mechagodzilla is still holding up to both of them, which is impressive. But during the fight, Kong's axe gets charged by Godzilla because he remembers what happened when he used his atomic breath earlier. So Kong's axe gets supercharged by Godzilla's atomic breath, and he used the axe to rip Mechagodzilla apart and completely destroy him, which was awesome, really satisfying to watch. And at the end, Godzilla and Kong kind of stare each other down, and I think there's some sort of mutual respect forming, and Godzilla just goes back in the ocean. I guess he doesn't see Kong as a threat anymore. And after that, Kong goes into the Hollow Earth, and Godzilla just does Godzilla things again. So yeah, overall it was an awesome movie. Some of the stuff I would like an explanation to, but it's a MonsterVerse movie, so it's not supposed to really make sense. It's just supposed to be two monsters fighting each other and us watching. But the CGI was good. They did that really well, so I'm glad. That's the main point of the movie. It has to have great CGI, but they did that, and it was an awesome movie.